Three, two, one. Hey, everybody, this is Victor. I'm here with Chris. Again, this is part two. So Chris is a student of mine in my program, Six Figure House Flipper, and we're going to be updating everyone. So how Chris actually hit six figures for his real estate flipping business. And actually, I think it's been less than 3 months, actually, if I'm not mistaken. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Doing really good, actually.
Really good. Well, yeah, I can imagine why you're doing so good. I mean, you've actually bought like 5 properties here. So you're, just killing it on your first year here, which is super exciting. And I know we did our last case study video, and I think it was like you put the first one under contract. Do you remember what happened the last one we talked about?
Yeah, we had put the first one on contract, and I think I was working with my partner on the other 4, but they weren't under contract quite yet. We just had them kind of on our table.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I just want to do this update case study video, just like share like your journey so far. Because you've done a lot, five deals in a couple months is impressive and exciting and all that stuff. So just want to dive into it. So yeah, if you can kind of catch us up from the last case study video. So what have you done so far? How did the deals go? I know you closed on them.
Yeah. So I mean, we got the 5 properties under contract. Took forever to actually close on pretty much all of them. We were dealing with survey issues here and there. Some of it was kind of rare survey issues, which kind of pushed the closing date back a week or so, which actually turned out to be kind of in our favor because our contractor, he was kind of backed up on work. So by the time we actually closed on the properties and took ownership, the contractor was on the properties, I think, half a week right after. So
that's good.
We didn't sit around for 2 months waiting for a contractor to be ready. And that was kind of one of our issues was, we were contacting probably 10 to 12 contractors in the area. And it's a small area, so there's not a huge amount of people. And only one of them really got back to us. We even had a couple walk the properties and just ghosted us.
Wow. Yeah. But you have this one contractor. So so you guys have bought the properties, like you've bought, closed, and you own it, right?
Correct.
And then how much money did you put into it? Like you specifically out of your pocket, just as like a rough estimate, whatever you're comfortable sharing.
So yeah, of course. The way the partnership split is my partner is basically the money partner. He's got all the money and I'm doing all the work. What I have put into it, one of the deals my wife and I did by ourselves, and I think we put maybe 8,000 into that one after closing costs and everything. The other 4 package deal I'm doing with a partner, I paid for the surveys. That was about 2,600, and I think I've done one of the insurance payments, so 3,000.
Okay, so you're basically, you bought 5 houses here, and you're like 12 grand into it, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Not bad. I think a lot of people, a lot of people would be excited about that. I would be excited about that. That's great. Wow, exciting stuff.
Exactly.
What about the numbers on the deals? Like, because I know you have 5 of them. Like, we don't have to go into each one, but like overall, what are the numbers, like potential profit spreads, I guess, on average or whatever?
So kind of some of the deals are a little bit lower for kind of our target. I want to say the one property that my wife and I have is about 30,000, and then 2 of the properties I'm doing with my partner, they're probably in the 20,000 each range, so 40,000 together.
Yeah.
I just did final calculations on one of the properties this morning. It's like 70,000.
Awesome.
And then the other one's probably 50 to 70,000 as well. So we're probably talking somewhere around 175 to 200,000.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Awesome. Well, I mean, can't be mad at those numbers. And it basically evens out, right? Like one of them 70K, some are like 20K. I mean, 20K, I wouldn't turn that down. I mean, I wouldn't be mad.
No, that's the wife and I, our minimum that we've set for ourselves is 20K.
Okay.
If we're aiming for 1 a month in the future. So
right. Which is super doable, especially because you've been with me like only a couple months and you've already done 5 deals. So you're past that 1 a month like pace.
Right now, yes. We were planning on just 4 in the next year, and it's like, we hit 5 in 3 months, so maybe we can get up to 2 a month.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Exciting stuff. And I think, so I know you guys are thinking like, hey, maybe flip it, but maybe rental. Can you kind of talk me through like, okay, you guys might turn into rental, you might flip some of them. Just like some of your thoughts there, and like whatever, if it's too confidential, I mean, that's fine, but just
Oh,
whatever
no, it's fine.
you're open to.
So our first deal we did last year, that was a burr. So when my wife and I started investing, burr was kind of our go-to strategy. We wanted to incorporate flips because they're essentially the same process, just with a different exit.
Yeah.
So find a fixer upper, fix it, and then you refi it or you sell it. Now, the nice thing about our area where we're investing is rentals and flips look almost the same. So you're
Oh,
spending
cool.
just about the same on your rehab budget. Maybe be saving a little bit money on paint,
Okay.
and that's about it. So we're running calculations. I know for my personal goals when it comes to, like, if I'm holding a rental, I want at least $200 a door
Okay.
after all expenses. So not just the mortgage, but mortgage, taxes, paying property management, because I'm not going to do that myself, especially out of state. Set aside money for future vacancies, repairs, capital expenditures like roofs and whatnot. So what I did is I ran both calculations. So we had a real estate agent comp the area, and kind of, she gave us $1 per square foot. So what I did was I took that amount as the ARV.
Okay.
For a flip, I multiplied that by 95%, or it basically took 5% off. Because for me, I'd rather calculate low, be wrong, and get more money, than to calculate high, be wrong, and make less money.
Smart.
So for flips, I calculate 5% off. For a burr, I've heard some appraisers will actually appraise property lower if it's an investment property or a rental, basically. So I took 10% off for burrs. So one property, for example, we're looking at this morning. After the calculations, agent fees, rehab, and all that, it's going to make $70,000 if we sell it. But that's also before taxes.
Yeah.
If we burr it, we're going to be able to pull about 35,000 out on the refi, which that's not taxable. It doesn't get a percentage cut going to a real estate agent or anything like that.
Yeah.
And after all those expenses, it makes $300 a month. So we not only recoup our money, we get 30,000 on top of it, plus consistent cash flow.
Yeah. So then it becomes a question with you and your partner, like, hey, which direction do we want to go?
Exactly. Do we want to split 50-50 and we walk away with 15,000, or do we want to split 50-50 and walk away with 35,000?
Right. Exactly. So yeah, that's a determination. I know you guys are still thinking about it too. Like, hey, which one makes sense? But okay, cool. Great. So exciting stuff there. Like, what are some of the things? So I know, like, it wasn't a straight line necessarily. Like, there were some like bumps in the road. Like, I guess what were some of the things you learned, or just going through what you've gone through so far?
Surveys can hold you up. Talking to my wholesaler who I purchased these from, he's like, man, every time I do a sale, I feel like I'm running into some new issue, and he's done quite a bit.
Yeah.
So this survey issue in particular was kind of new for us. We found a workaround for it, but we're still going to have to deal with that probably in the next couple of months here. So other than that, it's actually been relatively smooth sailing, other than for finding the contractor, but at least we got one.
And it got delayed. I think I remember with you, it was like, oh, it's going to close next week. Like, every time I talk to you, we talk quite often. I was like, it's going to be next week. It's going to be next week. It's going to be next week. And I think it delayed like at least a month. At
Survey.
least. Yeah.
What happened was the lender looked over the surveys that got to them. They're like, so two of the properties are together. I think at one point they were one lot.
Oh, okay.
Previous owner tried to split it, and I don't think she did a thorough job. So there's like encroachments on the survey. Because of that, the surveyor kept, I don't know what they were doing, but they would try to include it as one property.
Yeah.
They do these weird splits, and it just got to the point where the lender's like, okay, we're gonna loan as one property, just fix the survey later on.
Okay. So. Yeah. That I remember we talking about that, actually. That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess I've never heard that before. Like, oh, a lot split wasn't
Right.
successful. Like you split it or you don't. I guess I don't understand. Um,
Right.
yeah.
Oh, and then one of the other issues with the surveys that was kind of unforeseen was the previous owner had her dog out, like off leash and everything, and I guess it was intimidating the
For the
appraisers. I don't know
surveyor.
the full situation. I know they would go out and they'd be like, "Hey, this dog's running out and about and
Yeah.
is looking aggressive towards us. We're gonna leave."
I remember you
I
telling me
held this back to.
that's never happened too, and it got delayed a week because of that. You know,
Yeah,
so interesting. You know, I wonder if it was like a big dog or like a scary dog or something, or who knows?
sounded big.
Okay, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. Well, what can you do? That's
Right.
all in the life of a real estate investor. You'll find all of that, like getting these done. Okay, so that's the update there. And then with that in mind, like, would you recommend others work with me as well?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I wouldn't have even been able to find my partnership if it wasn't for you making the connection. So right off the bat there, I wouldn't have had at least 4 of those deals, if not even the fifth one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, I appreciate it. Yeah. And then like, why should someone listening take action now?
I mean, I said this I think on the last one, and I firmly believe this. The best time to start was yesterday.
Hmm.
Next best time is to start today. The worst time is to start tomorrow,
Yeah.
because there'll always be tomorrow.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
the
Well,
longer you
especially in
wait,
your case. Oh, one more
yeah,
time.
and the
Sorry.
longer you, no worries, no worries. The longer you wait to, the worse the deals are going to get. I mean, they'll be good for that time, but
Hmm.
you always look back and you're gonna be like, man, I should have bought that at that point.
Yeah. Well, especially in your case, like because it's only been a couple months that we've been together here. So if you said, oh, I want to wait 6 months before getting started, like working with me, in terms of the mentorship and the program, like you would have missed out on these 5 deals, or I guess at least 4 of the
Right.
deals. So that's six
Exactly.
figures. So if you wait 6 months, the 6 months is going to pass anyways. Do you want, plus 100K in your bank account, or do you want to not have that?
Exactly.
Mhm. Cool. Well, cool. I appreciate you, hopping on here again and like just sharing your story and just sharing this next milestone. I firmly believe this is just the next milestone, because you're gonna, do whatever you do, whether it's flip or rent these properties out. And then it's like, okay, cool, let's do the next one. Or let's do the next one. So you've set yourself up really well. Oh, I wanted to mention actually, because I know we were talking earlier, like you were saying, like, oh, my goal for the year is 4 deals, and like basically blew past that in like 3 months or something like that, which is crazy.
Right. It's like I wanted to do 4 deals in the next 12 months. And now it's like, hey, I'm probably going to do 5 deals by the end of the year,
Right. Yeah.
which less than 6 months.
Yeah. Just blew past your goal. So awesome. It's a great momentum. But yeah, do appreciate you hopping on here, sharing your story. Anything else you want to cover, go over, anything else you want to share as we wrap up here?
Um, no, I mean, my only suggestions right now is just keep an eye on the market. We have the rent moratoriums just be cut off. So you're probably, I know they worked out a deal with the banks where they have to wait 180 days before they can actually foreclose on homes.
Mhm.
So if I had to guess, just based off that estimate, you're probably going to see some pre-foreclosures and foreclosures hit the market. I want to say probably in the next 140 days or so,
Mhm.
150 days.
Yeah.
Um, we're still short on inventory. There's still 4 million homes that need to be, basically created
Yeah.
just to meet kind of demand right now. So I think prices are going to keep going up, but you're going to see the foreclosures hit the market. That's going to create a kind of weird conundrum. We're seeing more equity right now than what I've seen lately, kind of from a lot of analysts, is people trying to compare it to the '08 crash. '08 crash, there was not that much equity out there. Now a lot of people have a ton of equity. So, take the information, listen, try to get a gauge from the market there, but don't wait either. Set
Yeah.
your minimum goals, hit that goal. That would be kind of my suggestion there.
Mhm. I like your perspective there, where it's not necessarily like 08, 09, it's a little bit different. So it shouldn't stop you, because I talk to a lot of people like, oh, I'm just going to wait for the next crash, and then then I'll get into it. And like, what if the crash doesn't happen, or what if it just looks different than last time? Like, you're preparing for strategy A because strategy A worked, a decade ago in 08, 09, but it's different this time, and especially like you're out there and I'm out here like still doing deals, making money. And then like worst case, just turn it into a rental, use another exit strategy, which, I teach too.
Right. I mean, that's the thing that I like about rentals is rent doesn't typically drop.
Yeah.
House prices might, but rent won't. What I have seen kind of worst case scenarios from a lot of the analysts is if there is a crash in the real estate, it's 10 to 20%. It won't be like the 50 to 80% that we saw before. Typically with crashes, from what I understand, it's usually either kind of a real estate crash or it's a stock market crash. And right now they're expecting a stock market crash before you'll see the next like big real estate crash. So
yeah, very cool stuff. I appreciate the input there as well. Just so folks aren't like scared, like, oh, I should wait because what if the market crashes? Like, oh no, you should still get into it because then you'll be waiting. I had a friend, and I think since like 2016, I've known him for a long time. Since like 2016, he's been saying like, the market's hot, the market's going to crash any minute there, any month now. That's 2016. So he would have missed out on like 5 years of upward, growth, and he did, fortunately or unfortunately, but
right. I mean, if those houses appreciated 2% per year,
right,
if you would have held on to them, that's like in 5 years is 10%.
Mhm.
That's a pretty low average.
Exactly.
For a freeze.
He used to be in real estate. He's doing something else now, but he was doing, I think, like 10 to 20 deals per year, which is where you're on track to be, honestly, with where you're at. Because I know your goal is like one a month, but like how many deals did he miss out on? 5 years, let's say 10 deals a year. He missed out on 50 deals. Like, damn, that's
yeah, that's a lot.
So
I mean, if each of those were 20 grand each, 50 deals,
right.
that's about $1 million.
That's $1 million. Yeah. Not to say like, just a word of caution, like don't be reckless. Like, oh, the market's going to go up forever, so I can, just buy whatever, and it's just going to go up, and everyone's a genius in a bull market. And like, it's if I just buy it at any price, it'll be worth more in the future. Like, you got to still buy right and know your numbers, know your process, and know everything A to Z. But don't let that fear hold you back, is the summary.
Right. And that's one thing I have heard from more experienced investors is like it's more difficult right now for investors to make money, but that doesn't mean it's impossible. It's more you have to pay more attention compared to, let's say, right after that 08 crash and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, smart. Pay attention. Yeah. Perfect. Well, I do appreciate you hopping on here. Thanks so much, Chris. And yeah, thank you so much. And until next time.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks, Victor.